Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I thought it would be fun to do kind of a 4-month review of my 2020 Outback Limited XT. I've had this for just over 4 months now. I've been driving it every single day, and so I just kind of wanted to talk about the pluses and minuses of it and just what I'm thinking of it right now. Now, I do have another video on this car of the first day that I got it and kind of like my first impressions. I also showed a lot of the different features of it and the window sticker. So if you want to see that, I will link that up above and below also. So let me just jump in here and tell you what I think of this car. Okay, so first off, I just want to talk about the interior of this car. I really find it aesthetically pleasing. I like the finishes they did in here. I think it's really refined and nice and clean looking and modern and just, like I said, very aesthetically pleasing. Little details like the stitching here, I just think really kind of adds to the overall appeal of the interior in here. I love the leather interior, and that was definitely something that I wanted, which is why I did not go with the Onyx, which has a different type of material. I keep forgetting what it's called, but I'll insert it in here. It's not leather. It kind of looks like leather, but it's a stain-resistant material. And I did not want that. I wanted leather. So that was one of the reasons why I went with the Limited. These seats are great. They're comfortable. The driver's side is a 10-way power seat, and the passenger is 8. So that's kind of nice. And they're both heated, as are the back seats. Are also heated. The steering wheel is heated, which I like. The moonroof I'm liking. I just like having a moonroof, adding that little extra light in there. Also, there is sound insulating glass in the front here, which just kind of adds to the comfortability factor when you just have more of a quiet ride. It has the Harman Kardon sound system in here. That is an upgrade. And I would play that for you so you could hear what the sound system sounds like, but I would get copyrighted, so I'm not going to do that. But it is a 12 speaker system, I believe, and I think it works pretty well. I like the sound. I don't know a whole lot about Harman Kardon. In fact, I'd never heard of it before. I'm probably not even pronouncing it right, but it seems like it's a pretty good sound system. So over here we have these two buttons basically for settings of two different people. And so if you push one of those buttons, it will put your seat and your mirrors to your desired preferences. Also though, up here with the driver focus, it actually scans your face when you get in the car, and it will save up to, I believe it is 5 different people's data as far as seat position, mirrors, climate control, screen settings, that kind of thing. So it kind of works 2 ways, either with your driver focus scanning you, but sometimes that does not always work. And so I will just push number 1, which is me, and then that will take it to my settings. Because like I said, if you are wearing like a hat or sunglasses, sometimes the driver focus will not actually recognize you. And so you do, and I think that's probably why they have this manual for 2 main drivers. Okay, I went ahead and turned on the car so I can show you the screen here. Now this screen is an 11.6 inch screen. It is considerably larger than the previous years, and people seem to either love it or hate it. I'm kind of in between. I like the large size of this. It makes it really easy to see. And you've got everything here. You've got your radio. You've got your GPS, which I actually really like. I like having this, you know, right on this big screen. It's very easy to see. And it's got, you know, all kinds of other stuff. Your phone, apps, car info. The thing that I don't like about it is some of the things that you want to get to, it seems like they're kind of buried in there. You really have to go through a whole lot of pushing to get to what you want. And I don't necessarily like that. There's also a lag or kind of a delay to this screen even working when you first start up your car. And so that's kind of annoying at times too. It just seems like it should be a little quicker than what it is. One of the things I don't necessarily like about it that's coming to mind right now is the heated seats. Instead of just being a button to push for heated seats, which is kind of what I'm used to. It's touchscreen, so you got to go down here, touch it, and then you can adjust the heat here. So you can push this to take it down or turn it off. But I don't know, for me this just seems like a whole lot of pushing just to get your seat on or off, whereas I'm used to just a button. So I guess that's kind of the thing. I don't like the fact that everything is touchscreen. I just wish some things were just buttons. Yeah, it does have the buttons for the climate right here where you can raise it up and down, and this is dual climate. It's got the other side here. You can raise it up and down, but you do still have to actually go into it to change the stuff, and it just seems like it's kind of cumbersome to me. I don't know. I'm just used to buttons that you push, and it's just a whole lot easier than touchscreen, touchscreen, touchscreen. And when you're driving, that can be kind of distracting. But yeah, I like this and I don't like it. I just wish there was more manual buttons, I guess. But the fact that they've got this huge screen, they've kind of taken up all the space for that. But yeah, overall, it's very comfortable, and to me, like I said, aesthetically pleasing in here. I just like the interior a lot. And I do like that big screen, but like I said, it can be kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. So for the back seat, they've actually made the Outback a little bit longer and a little bit wider for the 2020s. And that can be seen in the back seat here, where there is actually 1.4 inches more legroom, which may not sound like a lot, but it actually does make a difference, I think. I have sat in this back seat, ridden in this back seat myself, and I have plenty of legroom. I don't know if you can tell that. And this front seat here is put back pretty far. I've got plenty of legroom, and it's just a pretty comfortable ride. And like I said, there are heated seats back here too, as you can see there. And for these, they do have the push buttons, which is actually kind of what I was talking about up front. I would rather have these than the way that is up there. You've got your dual USB chargers here, which is kind of nice. So yeah, to me, it's a pretty impressive back seat. Okay, so now one of the things that I like the most about this car, and I'm trying not to show my license plate, which is why I've got that visual, is the cargo space in the back here. So it's got the hands-free, as you saw there. So yeah, this cargo space is what I really, really love about this car. You can get so much stuff in here. And if you don't have enough space right here, these seats are a 40-60 split. So you can either pull one down, and that's supposed to pop and it didn't, but you can either do that side, this side, or both. And you've got just tons of room in here, as you can see. I went to take my recycling the other day, and I didn't think I was going to get it in here. I thought I was going to have to take our truck, but it all fit in here very nicely, and I actually still had room. So I love the fold down and just all this space back here. And I also really like these mats, these protective mats that are in here. They kind of help keep stuff from sliding around here too. So if you put your groceries back here, they're not going to slide on this material. So yeah, I love, love, love this cargo space. It's awesome. So then to shut, it's got the push button there. So Subaru is known for their safety features, and this car has a lot. So one of the main things is the EyeSight driver assist technology, and that's these things up here. So what those do is they shoot ahead and alert to potential dangers, and your car will intervene at times. So some of those things include pre-collision braking. The car will actually slow you down or come to a complete stop if you are getting too close to something. like a car in front of you. And I've had that happen at least once where it started to brake on me. It also has lane departure and sway warning. And that's just where if you start to drift over the line, it will give you an auditory and visual kind of alert and let you know that you're doing that. There's also the adaptive cruise control with lane centering. And this just keeps you centered in your lane and a safe distance from the car in front of you. And this doesn't always work. If the lines on the road aren't clear enough, it's not going to work, and it will beep at you and let you know that it's inactive at that time because it's not able to read the lines. But I've used this. It definitely works. It definitely keeps you centered and, you know, a specific distance from the car in front of you. I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of that, to be honest. It kind of makes me feel not super in control of the car, but I also don't use cruise control that much. There's also pre-collision throttle management, and that just reduces the engine power to give more time to react and minimize a possible front impact. So driver focus is also something that's on this car, and it works with the eyesight technology, and it basically just helps to detect distracted or drowsy driving. If you look away too long, it will give you a visual and auditory alert. And I think this is kind of a cool thing, especially for people who are texting all the time and, you know, that kind of thing. If you're not looking ahead, it's going to beep at you. And like I said, also give you visual alerts. And it definitely works because if I even look down really at all, it'll start alerting on me with that. One of the safety features on here that I find really helpful is the blind spot detection. And basically, if there's a car coming up in your blind spot, your mirror has a light that kind of lights up and lets you know that there's a car on that side. There's also rear cross traffic alert, which warns you with the rear vision camera display and audible warning if traffic is coming from the side. So an example that would be if you're backing out of a parking spot or something and somebody's coming up from the side on you, you're going to be warned about that. And that works really well, and I think is pretty helpful. Also, there's reverse automatic braking. So if you're backing up and there's something behind you, it will bring the vehicle to a stop. And then again, obviously, there's the rear vision camera, which I think almost all new, if not all, new vehicles have anymore. But that's still a nice thing to have. Up here, you've got your StarLink safety and security. And basically what this does is it alerts first responders in an emergency. So if you get in a wreck or something, you are going to get contacted. And if you don't respond, they are going to automatically send out emergency personnel. I think that's something that's really kind of cool because if someone was to get in a wreck and they're unconscious and they can't call for help themselves, then this is going to send the help to you. It also will help locate your vehicle in a theft. And this is something that they give you free for 3 years. Another thing that I really like about this car is the steering responsive headlights. And basically the lights aim in the direction that you're steering. And I found those really kind of neat. And they definitely help you see where you're going. Another safety feature that this car has is the exterior auto dim mirrors. So basically what that is when you have a car approaching behind with headlights on, your mirrors are going to darken. And that also works with the interior mirror here. This will also darken. So they're kind of connected together. The other thing about the exterior mirror that I actually really like is it will, when you approach the vehicle with your keys or unlock it or whatever, it will turn the little light on. The little Subaru symbol there will light up and it kind of shoots down a beam of light towards the ground and towards your handle. So that's just kind of an extra little nice thing to have when you're in the dark, you know, approaching your car, is for that light to come on. So one of the things that this car has is the start-stop feature, and that's where the engine comes to a complete stop when you come to like a stoplight or a stop sign. And that's something that I'm kind of on the fence with too. I think it's a nice to have thing, but it also can kind of be a little annoying. Sometimes when it stops and starts, it can be a little rough. I don't necessarily like that. Now you can turn that off, but I think you have to turn it off basically every time you drive the car. Again, I'm not totally sure on that, but I don't turn mine off. And like I said, I think it's a neat thing. I just don't necessarily always like the starting and stopping when it's a little more on the rough side. This model also has the X mode traction management system, and I have not used that at all. I have not been in any situation where I've needed to use it. And that's basically just something that you use for more grip and stability and control. And basically conditions like rugged inclines or steep declines or mud and snow, that kind of thing. Just wherever you need a little more traction and control, that's what that's for. I have not taken this car off-road or anything like that. And it does not snow here, basically. So I haven't had any chance to use that, but I think that's a neat thing that it has. So one of the main things people probably want to know is, how does this car drive? And I would say that it is a really fun car to drive. It is a comfortable drive. It's smooth, quiet. It handles really well. Like I said, it is just fun to drive. Now this one has the 260 horsepower, 2.4 liter, 4-cylinder direct injection boxer engine, which was a mouthful. But that is what it has. It also has CVT transmission with an 8-speed manual mode. And I have not used the manual shifters. Those are the paddles right there for the manual shifting. I have not done that. I really have no desire to do that. And I guess I've just not been in a situation where I've needed to use that. Now all the XT models have the turbocharged engine in them. And I don't know how the base engine does, but the turbocharged definitely feels like it has adequate power to me. It gets up and moves when you need it to. It is great in situations like passing. And actually, that's the thing. This engine, while I don't want to say anything bad about it, I think it's been great. And like I said, it's got a lot of power. It seems to shine in kind of the 30 to 50 mile an hour zone. And I've seen other people say that, and I totally agree. That's where you really see the power of the engine, is in that range. Now, it doesn't have the most impressive off the line, to be honest. It's a little sluggish, but once you get this thing going, it will go. And like I said, in the 30 to 50 mile an hour zone, it's very, very responsive. When you hit that gas, it moves. And so I've had no problem in things like passing and just getting it to go when I need it to go. And so I've really, really enjoyed having that extra power. But yeah, overall, I'm impressed with the power. Now, that being said, I had a Legacy before this, and it was a gutless wonder. And so this car is like night and day to that one. So I'm really, really loving the power in this one. And again, I just love the way that it handles. I love the way that it drives. It's super comfortable. It's super fun. And for what it is, which is not a sports car, it's a wagon, it really does have a lot of get up and go. And I think it's very impressive. I'm really happy I got the turbocharged engine, because I don't think I would have been happy with the standard engine. But like I was saying, off the line, not so impressive. I've heard that it does 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, and I think that's probably a little generous, because I don't think that's what it's doing. Now, I have no idea. If anybody does know what the 0 to 60 is on this car, I would be really curious to know, because like I said, it doesn't shine off the line, but it definitely does once it gets going. As far as the CVT transmission stuff, I don't know anything about that. I am not a car person. I am not an engine person. And I've seen a lot of people basically dogging on that, and I don't know enough about it to comment. So all I know is, for me, I love the way this thing drives. So CVT or not, good or bad, I don't know. It seems to work pretty well in this car. But that is about all I can think of to say about this car. My overall view of it is I absolutely love it. I'm very, very happy that we got it. I have very few complaints about it. All in all, I think this is a great car. I think it drives great. I think it is comfortable. The cargo space is amazing in this car. You can just fit so much in here, which just makes it very practical. It's got all kinds of safety features on it. It's got pretty much everything that you could want on it, actually. And really, I don't think the price point is too bad for everything that this car has. So I'm very glad that we got it. I would definitely repurchase it again. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this car to anyone that has been looking at them and thinking about them. I just think they're great cars. I love Subaru in general though. My family has owned them for years. I owned a Legacy for years. I just love Subaru. So I am a little bit partial or biased, but I still think that this car has a whole lot going for it and overall is just a great car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.